Hello and welcome to the Build with Baer workshop. My name is Pat Baer. I'm here to build a model kit and to hang out with all of you. And I'm going to go ahead right off the bat. Before we get into anything else, I'm throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe, and the Tier 2 emote, the blue emote. If you're currently a subscriber like Jam, you can throw those emotes right back at me. Just throw them in my face. Or you could use other people's emotes. You could just say hello. Ghost Valve chose to just put one emote in there. That's also excellent. Or if you want to be a lurker, it's okay. It's okay to lurk, just to hang out in the background, to not engage in the chat. Arctic Sloth throwing his emotes. Welcome, Arctic Sloth. It's totally reasonable and acceptable to just be like a chill person, just like have this on your TV while you're doing other things, or on your phone while you're at work and you're just kind of listening along, and occasionally you look over and go, oh, okay, Pat finished the arms on the Vayeate. Cool. Whatever you want to do. If this is your first time watching the stream, hello, I'm glad you found me. I'm building a model kit and I'm going to talk about a bunch of bullshit, like Twitch bullshit and video game bullshit and wrestling bullshit and anime bullshit. And meme bullshit. Got a bunch of different things. Some cooking bullshit. We're probably going to start by talking about some cooking bullshit. All kinds of different things. I shaved, and I shaved my head, which you won't see. But just know that when I put this bandana on, I had to tie it tighter than I did the other day because I shaved my head down. But this feels good. Feels great. Little 5 o'clock shadow. No big deal. I'm just noticing it in my preview that I'm like, oh yeah, I definitely did shave today. Nice. We finished the Mercurius on Monday, which was cool. And that's done. So now it's time to work on the Vayeate because this was a 2-pack. These came together. This is a premium Bandai kit that I purchased. They put them out last year and then this year did a re-release and I picked them up this year, which is cool. If you were wondering, Pat, have you pre-ordered anything from Premium Bandai in a while? The answer was supposed to be no, but then the Heavy Gundam came up, and the Heavy Gundam just rules. I'm going to put a photo of the Heavy Gundam up here because I think it's very cool. Let me find it. I've got a photo of it here. I just got to go and find it. Okay, got to find that there. Where's the Heavy Gundam? I mean, look, hey, Lord Crashington, and welcome. You're not going to see this kit until I receive it in February, so, like, it's fine. But I did pre-order it. Here it is. There's the Heavy Gundam. Look at this thing. Look at this kit's big gun. It's big gun. It slides on the arm. Shoulder gun as well. Just, like, cool looking, weird. Look at these colors. Are you seeing these colors? They're awesome and weird. That's the Heavy Gundam. And I pre-ordered that. And I will get it it'll ship in February of next year. Double Gundam, yeah. It'll ship next year. So that's fun. I did have a kit that did ship this month. I have 2 kits coming. The God Gundam is coming. While we're waiting for a few friends to join us, let's do a check-in here. Looks like the God Gundam will arrive on Saturday, which is fantastic. We love to see that. And when am I getting the Gundam Marine type, aka the Gundiver? That's going from FedEx, and that is coming. I'm just going to check the shipping here, see when that is scheduled to arrive. So yeah, God's coming on Saturday, and then okay, FedEx is not loading for me. Probably have to do that later in Chrome instead of Firefox, which is fine. It's weird, but it's fine. So that's coming, I believe. So that's good. So yeah, I'm getting model kits in the mail, which is good. And then I'm still expecting in December the Red Rider, and then fourth quarter the Shenlong Gundam, which I'm starting to see in stores, so one would hope that USA Gundam Store is getting that shit soon. Hey, Aristophan, welcome, welcome. The Lurft, the cool-looking Gundam, one of the cool-looking Gundams from Mercury, that, so fourth quarter it says, and then Shin, Funsaki, that's the horse. It's a new model of the horse So instead of it being the 2-pack from G Gundam that comes with the Master Gundam, the high grade, it's a high grade that comes as a stand for the God Gundam. So I'm getting the God Gundam supposedly on Saturday. It'll arrive. Maybe it'll be here later in the week anyway, or beginning of next week, I should say. But eventually, I'm going to have a horse that can ride on, and that's silly. And I don't know when the Shin Gundam is coming, but it's scheduled. The Shin, I should say, the horse, and that again is a unicorn mobile suit that is piloted by a living, breathing, real horse. Because G Gundam is all swings. A lot of those swings are home runs, and a lot of those swings are misses, but it's always swings. There is no bunting in G Gundam. Every at-bat is a swing trying to get a grand slam. And which is impossible because you're just hitting a bunch of home runs or you're just out. I guess sometimes G Gundam does foul enough to eventually walk, but I've lost the analogy there. Anyway, one Gundam does have a little bit of baseball mixed in with the football and boxing. Tonight's plan. We're working on a mobile suit. I moved my overhead lighting a little bit, so we're going to see if that works better. At the very least, right now, I can tell you it does not block my vision of one of the monitors, so that's good. And we're going to talk about a bunch of different things, I'm sure. I did not expect to be talking about G Gundam. But here's the thing. I would say more than any other Gundam series, I have talked about G Gundam. I would say I might have talked about G Gundam more than Gundam Wing, which is my favorite Gundam series. So I don't know. I am me. I'm ever evolving, ever changing, but also always the same. Let's go to the overhead. Lighting in here should be a little different because I have moved where my overhead lamp is. So it will be a little darker, but it still should be illuminated. I moved it a bit here. It still should be illuminated, and more importantly, it doesn't block one of my fucking monitors. So that's good. I do eventually have to get a better way of mounting this light. I want to use the same arm that the camera is on, but I'm a little worried about doing that. Sir Raven says, praise onto MSG 83. Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, look. Here, the real thing is, I like the big swing Gundam series. Now, that's not 100% true. I do like some of the ones that are very traditional. But I really do like the out of regular continuity weird experiments. That's just kind of where I lie. More than the this is like in the Universal Century and you know what you're getting with it. I like the ones that are like, it's a fighting tournament. Or, what if it was very pretty boys trying to go to school? I don't know. It's like, instead of child soldiers, we're going to have teen soldiers. Like, cool. All right, I'll give that a try. I don't know. War is hell. And oftentimes Gundam does that. And I'm like, yep. Get this. And then every once in a while, Gundam is just like, I don't know. What if model kit building was like virtual reality and cool? I'd be like, all right. I'll watch it a little bit. Anyway, we're on the overhead. This is the Mercurius. Just so you know, imagine this kit in blue and light blue and the weapons being different. And you pretty much have exactly what we'll be doing on this stream. And the head is different. But most of it is pretty identical. We could have built both of them at the same time, but that's not my style. So we'll put this up there. I don't know. Maybe we'll put them over here just to hang out, just so we can kind of see what's going on with our friend over there. And I got my plastic official Bandai part separator, which I have used very infrequently, but is cool. We got that going there. Of course, we do have, we'll do light blue. We'll use the gray marker for our light blue, and we'll use the black marker for our blue pieces, which we need to get right now. Speaking of blue, you can see the dark blue and our light blue. which will both look fantastic. The black is not going to show up too much on the dark blue, but it'll still benefit from it. And the gray won't be overpowering on our light blue, our powder blue, one might say. I think the black would be too much on it, so we will be using that. And it's also fun to play around with some markers. Right off the bat, I'll keep this short and sweet. I did some cooking yesterday, worked on a recipe I have not tried before with mixed results. But so this house likes macaroni and cheese, which is great because I like macaroni and cheese and I like having macaroni and cheese with the folks. So did that, had the old mac and cheese. But we like baked mac and cheese in this house, and I'm more of a stovetop kind of mac and cheese person. I like making it on the stove. I like having a rich creamy sauce instead of a baked cheese like sauce that just becomes like a hard, tasty, but like I want to use a spoon, not a knife and fork for my mac and cheese. That's just my opinion on it. Breadcrumbs are fine. I don't need breadcrumbs. That's just me. That's just how I go for it, right? But this house prefers the other method, which is its want, just not particularly my style. We are going to go with the enclosed normal mode head instead of the camera, the extra. We're basically using like one less sticker with this method, which I think is totally cool. So yeah, we're going to go with that method instead of the other. We don't use these bar things here. It's just the way I decided to go for it. But yeah, so this new mac and cheese recipe, I did some cooking too, since Arctic Salt. Made some chicken tiki masala. Ooh, nice. Turned out pretty good, considering I've only ever taught myself to cook. Oh, nice. Yeah, so I would say it was still very tasty, but here's the thing. If you want that silky smooth, you don't want to go out and buy like a particular kind of sodium to be the binding agent, you want to do it with just, ingredients you got around the house. Apparently, your cheese sauce should be milk, butter, a hard cheese like cheddar cheese. Prefer the cheddar myself, and then American cheese. You want to rip up some American cheese and put in there, and then you blend it, or with your spoon constantly stir to make an emulsion, because the American cheese has a binding agent in it. And as it melts, it's not a great melting cheese, but as it melts in, it will be incorporated in this, and then you get a nice silky. It really sticks to the noodles, and it's very smooth. And here's the thing: the recipe warned me. It warned me. It said, "Hey Pat, it's gonna seem like your sauce is not thick enough. It's gonna really seem to not be right. And you're going to want to add more American cheese because you're really going to think you need to thicken this up. But you don't, because as soon as it starts cooling down by touching that macaroni, it's going to become very thick. It's going to thicken up. So you don't need to add any more American cheese." So I knew that going in. What did I do? You know by now. The answer to that is I added another piece of American cheese because I thought it wasn't thick enough. I thought I had added too much milk. Turns out I did not add too much milk. I added too much American cheese because that shit hardened up. It was basically like I had baked it. Because I made it last night so I could have some good mac and cheese while I watched professional wrestling, which we'll of course get into. And it was good but thick. And then today for lunch I finished up what I had made, and because I was like, oh, I'm just gonna have this for lunch, and it was too dense. Like it had hardened a lot in the fridge overnight, and it was like it didn't really taste like stovetop. It did not get what I was going for, which of course is like a fancier version of Kraft's macaroni and cheese, or Kraft dinner if you are Canadian. I I did not get the craft dinner that I was looking for, and that is a shame. I felt like I didn't honor my ancestors in the way that I was intending to, by not making that properly. It still fucking tasted great, and today I'll say this: I added in some bacon to it, a little shredded bacon, and that was great. Added a nice salty flavor. If I had garlic powder in the house, we don't have any garlic powder in the house, or garlic salt, which is frustrating, but we don't have any. If I added garlic powder or garlic salt, it also would have been fantastic. Would have loved that as well. Instead, I just put regular salt in there and then some bacon, and it was still good. Oh, a little paprika. I put a little paprika in the sauce because I like how paprika tastes. So, again, was it perfect? No. Was it good? Hell yeah, it was. So that was my little cooking experiment. Okay, so I need A7. That's A2. A7, A24. Working on this face. Again, other than classic blunder, indeed, Arctic Sloth. Mac and cheese is good stuff. I mean, it really is, Lord Crashington. I mean, honestly, it is. And I do like baked macaroni and cheese. It's just that, like, that's the only way we have it in this house. And I kind of wanted to, like, mess around with some other stuff and try the way that I like to make it. I've done it on stream during one of my cooking streams. One of the few cooking streams that I've done. I have experimented with a one pot mac and cheese where you use the water that you used for boiling, because you make sure you use exactly the right amount of water and then use that water as the basis of your sauce. And that did turn out pretty damn good when I did that on stream. But this method was just different in a way that I really wanted to try out. And I'm glad I tried it because it's good to experiment. Because at the end of the day, I still had good cheese taste and good noodles. And it was still like properly a good meal that I enjoyed making. It just didn't do exactly what I wanted. Reminds me of that Pat Robertson bit from 404. You'll have to remind me, Lord Crashington, because I don't immediately remember what that bit was. There's been a lot of 404 bits over the years. People will make the mistake with mac and cheese as long as there are people making mac and cheese. Indeed. Look, you got to experiment. You got to try stuff. I just haven't had it out of the box since like February because I got it while my folks were gone because it's just easy and fast to make. But haven't made it really since. He didn't know mac and cheese was a thing or that it was a Thanksgiving thing. Yes. Didn't know that was something that people had at Thanksgiving. Yeah. Mac and cheese is not a universal American Thanksgiving side. It is a regional choice. And here's the thing. Mac and cheese is a important regional source or a side. And that's important to know that it's not just like some people do cream spinach, but if you don't have it, you don't have it. Like, no. There are certain people in the United States that it's not Thanksgiving if you don't have mac and cheese. What are we doing here? What's going on? What the fuck? It's important. It is an important side to many people out there. Not everybody, but many people. All right, let me get this on here. There we go. As you can see, other than the color, obviously, our heads are different. I can zoom in a little bit here. Zoom in a little bit here. Yeah, why not? There we go. That's good. Our heads are different. No, hold it. Mac and cheese goes with everything usually. And Just Another Spicy says, yeah, my family doesn't do mac and cheese for Thanksgiving. Yeah, my parents didn't. My family didn't either. But I do know families that is the norm and the thing that they expect. And when it doesn't happen, it's weird. And I'm like, oh, all right. Yeah, we just never did it. We have our sides. And I'm sure there are people that don't do green bean casserole. I'm sure there are people that don't do au gratin potatoes because they do mac and cheese. Everybody's got their own things, the things that they think are great, and then there's stuff that I'm just like, what? No. No, I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. Um, okay, you do lasagna, right, for Thanksgiving. That's not a thing that I've ever experienced. Now, when I went to a family to hang out with, so I can't remember the year, but it was the Thanksgiving where my parents had moved here to South Carolina, and I was still in New York. And it was the first year that I wasn't going to be with them because I used to live in Connecticut. So to go to visit them for Thanksgiving was very easy, and I would do it all the time. So the first year, I was in my 20s or whatever, or maybe my 30s, but I was like, oh, I want to have a family Thanksgiving. So my friend invited me to go with her to her family up in Poughkeepsie. And they're a very Italian family. They're like the children of immigrants Italian. And they did a turkey meatball soup. And that is the only time I've ever had turkey meatball soup on Thanksgiving. And we also did have a turkey. It was just like other turkey. And that's the only time I've ever had that. And it did seem out of the ordinary. But like, I don't know. Sure, we did it. I think it was fine. We also do lasagna in my house for Christmas Eve. We do lasagna and Alaskan king crab legs. And that's weird, but that's what we do. But to other people, probably not weird at all. The other people were like, no, you got to have a turkey on Thanksgiving. I'm like, no, you have a turkey on you have a turkey on Thanksgiving, yeah, and you have a turkey Christmas Eve. I'm like, nah, you have a turkey Christmas Day. But other people were like, no, we do roast beef. We do a bird. We got our own priorities. It's just like, okay, everybody do their thing. All right. We talked about some cooking stuff. Let's really quickly talk about some wrestling because we do need to get into we do need to start yelling about a thing, or at least I'll be passionately mad about a thing. But right now we could start with the funner thing, which is talking about how they don't let Jon Moxley go on vacation, I guess. Jon Moxley, when he dropped the title to CM Punk at All Out, was apparently supposed to be having a vacation. And he wouldn't be back until they were in Cincinnati, Ohio in October. Which is they're doing a special Tuesday night episode of Dynamite because of baseball or something. I don't know, for a reason that can't be on Wednesday. So they're like, all right, well, we need you back for that, but you can take time off before that. And apparently that was good. And then some real life stuff happened, and CM Punk isn't the champion anymore, and they had a tournament to crown the new champion. And that new champion is the man that beat Punk for the belt. He won the interim belt. He beat Punk to unify the belts. He lost to Punk, and then he beat Daniel Bryan to become the new champion. Yes. So plans changed, pal. But plans changed, and our boy Moxley is now the champion. And I think it should have been Daniel Bryan. Now, you could argue that it shouldn't be Daniel Bryan if he can't have a long reign with the belts, right? Because they're going to put it on at some point in the near future. They're definitely 100% going to put it on MJF. So you want to have Bryan, you want him to have a longer title than like a couple months. And I get that. But I also want, I want Daniel Bryan to have a world title. And I don't know when he gets a world title. And then also, I would like Jon Moxley to have a vacation because vacations are nice and good. And I saw a lovely tweet out there where someone was just like, Jon Moxley is relatable because everybody's had a boss to be like, hey, could you come in and pick up another shift as you're about to go on vacation? Which makes him the most relatable wrestler. I think it's weird to having a battle royale for a title shot when MJF is still holding that chip. Yes, Arctic Salt. That is clearly designed to give the champion a win before MJF takes the belt from them. One would assume, I know for sure that the winner of the battle royale is facing Jon Moxley in Cincinnati. And I don't know if Jon Moxley will do a title defense in between those, but it basically gives Jon Moxley a win, and then maybe MJF cashes in then, or MJF is like, all right, you won, and now I'm going to face you at the pay-per-view. I don't know. I don't know how it goes. I don't know how they do it. I do know that I do think it should have been Daniel Bryan. The people that should have won were the Acclaimed. The Acclaimed, which were not a tag team when they came in. They were two guys that came into AEW and were paired together and put together. They were guys that lost on Dark and they lost on TV all the time. They got themselves over. They made it work. They worked very hard, which we, of course, appreciate and respect around here. Busted their asses. Everyone does love the Acclaimed. Now, do I love Keith Lee with the title? Of course I love Keith Lee with a title. Because Keith Lee is a big man. I like it when big boys and big girls and big non-gendered folks and gender fluid folks. I like it when big friends win titles. Because I'm a big boy. I'm a big boy. And I like that. Keith Lee's great. And Keith Lee had some health scares. I'm glad Keith Lee is healthy and was a champion. I think that's awesome. Swerve, take your leave. I think Swerve is a better heel than a face, which they're proving right now. But the Acclaimed, I bought their shirt, which I don't know if I can wear in public. Yeah, I mean, probably not. But we appreciate the Acclaimed, and a special shout out to Bowens for being the first gay champion in AEW, which fucking kicks a lot of ass. It's great. And the tag division continues to be the place where black folks can win titles. Women's division and the tag division. That's where. And also Scorpio Sky did win the TNT title. I don't want to say that no titles have had black champions. It's just the world title hasn't. Hasn't had much of an opportunity for them to go for that. I hope Scorpio Sky gets a big push when he comes back from injury, because he was working injured when he dropped the belt to Wardlow, and I hope Scorpio Sky gets a push, because Scorpio Sky is a fucking really good wrestler, and they were doing some good stuff with him up until they weren't. But I do hope that things work out for him, because I do think that Scorpio's pretty fucking talented. But yeah. Let's see. Other things that happened that night. Also the Acclaimed have, you could argue, an even better from the bottom now we're here story than, say, Jade, who came in hot as hell, who has not lost, who has just come in, and they strapped a rocket to her, understandably, instantly. She is certainly a homegrown talent in that she has not wrestled anywhere else. But the Acclaim did struggle to get where they are today. So you certainly could make an argument that they have definitely fought harder for their spot. And then we'll end with the bummer. So we'll say the question mark. Saraya debuted last night. You may know her as Paige from the WWE, who retired due to injuries, and who has been cleared to wrestle, but was just never has been cleared. It was a similar situation to Daniel Bryan for quite some time. Bryan Danielson, where they were. His doctors were like, yeah, you can do this. And then WWE was like, no. In a similar situation, apparently. Yes, she just debuted. We assumed she will wrestle because she was in the ring. I don't think they hired her just to be there as like a manager or whatever. But yeah, she is now all elite. They put the announcement is not a appearance based, by appearance. It is legitimately that she has been hired and is now an AEW active member. Um, and, that's great. You do not have to apologize for not having cable, my friend. Um, yeah, that is cool. I watch almost all my wrestling in a Discord that someone is hosting. Um, Sometimes they have the TNT feed, and sometimes we're watching it on Fight. You get more on Fight if you want to get Fight and a VPN to make it seem like you don't live in the United States. You can get Fight, and then you can also get those extra things that happen. I mean, you got to go through all the hassle of getting it to work and all that, but it is an option. Obviously got to go through hoops, but it is certainly an option you have. And then you get that weird, when it goes picture in picture and they're showing stuff on TNT. Instead, they're just saying random shit. The announcer's just talking during the Fight broadcast. Yeah, I mean, you got to look it up. You got to go through the steps. You got to get a VPN. You got to get the Fight thing. It does take a little bit of. It's not like turnkey, but it's not difficult. And as always, I was talking about a VPN and I was talking about Fight TV. I certainly wasn't talking about the two of them working in unison together. Never do that. I would never advocate for that. I'm just saying that in some countries, people watch wrestling, AEW stuff through Fight TV and the app. And in some places, people use VPNs to watch content. That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying. Let's see. So Saraya, I hope that she is cleared and cool. And here's the thing: when it comes to Edge, when it comes to Bryan Danielson, I can be happy that they're happy, but I also reserve the right to be a human being that is worried about their fucking necks. I'm always going to be worried about their necks. Hell, I was worried for Steve Austin. He wasn't wrestling. He was just giving people stunners and running around. And I'm still like, yeah, but what about your neck? Because I'm a human person and I have feelings. And I can't just turn that shit off because I recognize that the people that I am rooting for in the ring or booing in the ring are humans and exist. I can't turn that off and just think I'm looking at, characters. So my hopes for her are that she is indeed healthy and does not push herself. But when Daniel or Bryan Danielson gets suplexed and lands weird on his neck, I'm still like, oh God, oh God, oh God. Because I remember that he had to retire at one point. And when Edge said one of the reasons he got out of the business was, his neck, was that he could have worked for longer, but he wanted to see his kids grow up. And you're like, okay. And now he's like, I'm wrestling. It's just like, okay, I'm back, baby. I'm going to wrestle my son's kid. And you're like, all right. You do you, Edge, but yikes. There we go, that fit in. This took a little while to get in for some reason. All right, and now the thing that bums me out. I don't care if it's good for business. I think it sucks in general. Chris Jericho, after an incredibly lackluster, pretty honestly shitty performance, via cheating, wins the Ring of Honor championship, the world title for Ring of Honor, a title he has never held before. He defeats Claudio, who was doing great and was doing great with the title. And its storyline. Chris Jericho is in his early 50s and has not, contrary to certain opinions by some people, has not turned back the clock, and I would say does not still got it. I would say that Chris Jericho wrestles in slow motion. And a one-on-one with one of the world's best pure wrestlers is never going to do him any favors. He didn't look great against Daniel Bryan in a match, last week, and didn't look particularly great against Claudio Castagnoli. And I would say that he's never going to look particularly great against some of the best wrestlers in the world at age 51, and that's okay. I would say that Chris Jericho should be wrestling like Sting wrestles at this point, which is just spots in a tag match or in a multi-person match. I would say Chris Jericho should probably stop doing one-on-ones and maybe shouldn't be handed a title like the Ring of Honor World title. Now, I would say, look, if you're trying to sell a Ring of Honor television show, having Chris Jericho as your champion, I get it. I understand. Got name recognition. People who maybe like, in the same way, him being the champion of AEW made a lot of fucking sense. It was like, yeah, of course he's the champion. Like, yeah, that should be your guy. That does put butts in seats. That does, trend on Twitter. And oops, I dropped the thing. Can I find it? All right, I'm gonna get that polycap later because I have the only polycaps we have are just this ones here, and I won't use them tonight anyway. So I'll make sure to remind myself to go get that later because it fell. But yeah, it's a bummer because Claudio is a fantastic wrestler and was doing great things with that title, and it feels bad that he doesn't have it anymore. So that two members of the Jericho Appreciation Society have titles right now, and it's really just to further the story of Daniel Garcia, which I don't know what they're going to do, because now, like, what is it for both titles? The eventual Garcia versus Jericho match? I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen there. It feels weird and bad, and weird and bad, and weird and bad. It's just my opinion on the current situation with that. Oh, and then also, just to recap all of the matches, Toni Storm in the four-way that clearly was in eighth gear the entire time because they clearly did not have enough time to do it because there was a bunch of shenanigans and interviews that were apparently necessary. Those ladies did not get enough time for their match, but still put on a hell of a match for four women working very hard. Jamie Hayter realigning herself with Britt is disappointing. Because people were hoping for a Jamie Hayter face run against Britt, which would also keep Britt out of the title picture because I don't need to keep seeing Britt Baker in the title picture right now. I just don't need to see it. So her fighting against Jamie outside of the title picture. Also, it would be nice to have women with storylines that don't revolve around the two belts they have. That would be fucking incredible. If there was, like, Shida and Emi Sakura have a thing going in Dark and Dark Elevation, and that's it. There are three storylines in the women's division. Who's getting the world title, who's getting the TBS title, who's fighting, and then Shida and Emi sometimes are back and forth, and it's frustrating. Love the Cubone outfit from Athena. Yes, that damn skull was fantastic. I like the wings. I'm glad she went with something a little different. I think it's neat. Yeah. Athena always delivers. Yeah. They just need storylines. They need plot developments. They need things outside of the two belts, especially because, like, Diamante is a face to go up against Jade, I guess. Diamante has been working heel. She's a great wrestler. She was a constant wrestler in the 2020 year did great work there. Hasn't really done a lot since. Got a win on, like, Dark Elevation pretty recently just to give her, like, a fresh win. But, like, Diamante is a heel. She's a great heel. Your presentation is heelish, but she's a face because that's how you do it. Hello, White Shadow. Welcome. Welcome to the old Bill with Baer. We're talking a little wrestling. Getting in some wrestle talk here. But overall, I would like the women's division to have more going on than just who's the next person to lose the champion or defeat the champion. I mean, they were doing a little bit with Thunderstorm, with Toni Storm and Thunder Rosa tagging together, but it was really just to delay the inevitable match between them, which I'm like, just a little frustrated with that. Because there are incredibly talented people there, and I would like them to see do other. I mean, we did have another storyline that involved women that wasn't for the title, which was the Sammy and Ty versus Ortiz and Ruby. So I will say that was for titles, AAA titles, but it wasn't for the main two titles. And so I will say, hey, there were other things going on. I think that's all it for the wrestling. Okay, we got to talk about this shit. There's a lot of Twitch news. Some of it is good, some of it is bad, and some of it is sort of good until you think about it, and then it's bad. So let's start off with the actual good thing, which is the beta for Guest Star it just came out. Guest Star is cool. It is available for partners and some affiliates. I didn't get it. I will try it out when it comes in. If you're unfamiliar, it is a way to, within Twitch, through, I think, OBS, that is the thing they want to use. It is a way to... Oh, Arctic Sloth is subscribed to Tier 1 for 9 months saying, wish you got more of this money than Amazon. I hear you, Arctic Sloth. Let's hit the old applause there. Thank you very much, Arctic Sloth, for renewing your subscription. Appreciate you. Let's throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the emote in the chat there. Tier 2 blue emote. And yeah, so Guest Star is just a way to have like another Twitch streamer jump into your stream and like make it work on the back end without having to use like OBS Ninja or VOD Ninja. They used to be OBS Ninja, then they took the OBS out of there, so they're just VOD Ninja. Or having to use like a bunch of complicated stuff, worrying about that, having to use Discord, anything like that. It takes those steps out of it and just makes it theoretically an easier process to have guests show up on your stream. And again, that's going to be cool. I'm looking forward to that. Partners get it right now, and then it looks like it will go out to some affiliates and start rolling out to more affiliates. That's neat. I like that. I think that's cool. So I want to say that's great. The bad thing, clearly bad for everyone, including, honestly, it's also bad for Twitch. Really, in the long run, it will be bad for Twitch, and that is, of course, the users that were like, hey, including myself, I did sign that information, put my name out there, saying, hey, what if the revenue split for affiliates was fucking better and wasn't 50-50? What are you doing? And they were like, we hear you, we understand, staying 50-50. We already are reducing in most countries now, but not all of them. We're already going to reduce your payouts from $100 to $50. So just be happy with that. And also, look, this is the perfect time for Twitch as a company to be like, not only are affiliates not getting more money or more partners not getting more money, because not all partners have a better deal than 50-50. In fact, starting in 2023, no partners are going to get extra money. We're gonna bring all of them back down to 50-50. And the reason is because, honestly, Twitch is very expensive. And we can't just we already give away Prime money. We can't be giving away more money. Like, we got server costs, y'all. It's expensive. Now, I know what you're saying. Pat, Twitch owns Amazon. Amazon owns Twitch. So what the fuck? Why are they saying that bullshit? And the thing I am not defending Twitch when I say that they probably do not get a good deal on their services, the Amazon services, right? Because, yes, Amazon owns Twitch. But Amazon doesn't run Twitch. Twitch runs Twitch as a company owned by Amazon. And you have to understand, in the long run, when you have a giant corporation, only so many people in that corporation care about other things besides the immediate thing they care about. Like, there are no deals. There's never been a buy this Sony television, get a discount on a PlayStation. There often aren't Sony Picture discounts. Sometimes there are, but not because they're Sony Picture discounts on the PlayStation Store. And you're like, but Pat, it's all Sony. But they don't care about each other. You know what I mean? Amazon, there are plenty of people that work at Amazon that maybe need to be reminded that they own Twitch. Not everybody, obviously, but some people. So I could totally understand why Amazon, who decided at some point, we're going to lose X amount of money on Twitch, just left it at that. That they could lose money in a different way. And you're like, Pat, isn't this awful for streamers? Yes. Isn't this in the long run going to be awful for Twitch? Maybe, unfortunately, probably not. Live streams on YouTube do well for podcasts. Podcast live streams seem to do well on Twitch. On YouTube. And some other live streams seem to do well on YouTube. But not all of them. Not probably enough of them to justify. And I know that some people say, I'm never going to be an affiliate. I just have, that way I don't have to serve ads. I just do Patreon. And I think that rules. If you can pull that shit off, you should pull that shit off. I would say that it was not a mistake for me. I don't consider it a mistake to become an affiliate with Twitch, even though I don't get all of the money and I would get a better portion of it on Patreon, right? Because not everyone uses Patreon. There are places where you can't. And some people want cool emotes and they're already in on Twitch. So I made the decision that I would have more options for people, and I figured options were the best way. That is the decision I came to, that I would have more options, and that would be my way of being somebody here that I'm like, I get some money from Patreon, I get some money from Twitch. Is one better than the other? In some ways, yes. In other ways, no. Because, like, Patreon weirds me out in some ways. And Twitch weirds me out in some ways. Neither are perfect. There's no perfect solution. You know, like, there just isn't. I do think in the long run, this will negatively affect Twitch. I also think that, like, Twitch is in a position where it doesn't really have to care that they're fucking up. Because for some people, the experience is just, hey, I go on Twitch, I look in a category I'm interested in, I find someone there, that's cool, or, oh, I know the schedule of the streamer I like, and I go and watch them. And if I started doing YouTube instead of this, some of you would follow me and watch me on YouTube, but a lot of you would be like, okay, I guess on Thursdays at 9 p.m. Eastern, I find somebody else on Twitch to watch. And I am not saying that you are wrong, that anyone is right or wrong in that situation, because you got to do what's best for you, and you got to find your entertainment, and I'm happy that you've chosen me. I think it's rad that right now, there are 10 people watching this stream. And there will be about 15 people that watch the VOD, 15 to 20. And there are like 5 to 8 people that are going to watch the VOD of this on YouTube. I think that's great. I think that's rad, and I appreciate it. The truth of the matter is, there are a lot of people that don't make enough money for their payouts, and the money just sits with Twitch for a while, and that actually is what's best for them. That the people that leave Twitch that are big time streamers will come back, or they will be replaced by other people, because Twitch is the platform that people use to watch content. Because TikTok streaming is weird and it's going to get bigger, but also TikTok doesn't have a way to make money. They just have a fund. And if you hit a certain amount of views, you get money from that fund. It's like the creators fund. That's how they pay people, is like, oh, you've hit a threshold we decided on that we could change at any time. So like, that's bad. YouTube is kind of the best, which sucks because it's YouTube and they're awful in so many other ways. It's all a fucking nightmare. And I would love to not have to bank on so many issues. Like I would love to not have to bank on so many companies accidentally benefited. Like, I'm tired of relying on companies doing things randomly that happen to benefit me. That's what I'll say. I am getting tired of that, and that is kind of what I have to do. They're just like, by accident, the choices they randomly have made benefit me. I do remember Mixer. Our Jimmy says, sup, Pat, was just trying a new Gundam game. It's pretty fun. Have you tried it? So, I will say this, because I think I'm done talking about... There's one more Twitch thing, which we'll come back to, because it's short. The good thing that's not maybe even really that good. Gundam Evolution is a video game that I have not played in its free-to-play mode that came out last night. I played the beta for a bit, and I did not have a great time with it, because I think Overwatch might have killed off my love of Overwatch and Overwatch likes. I think I played too much Overwatch, a game that I started to hate by the time I finally quit it, to properly get into a Gundam video game that is like Overwatch. Look, do I want to be in the Barbatos, running around, dashing around, slicing people with a big weapon? Yeah, do I want that? I want to get a Sazabi and have a good time. But I didn't enjoy the beta, so I don't think I'm ever probably going to check this out. Now, if they put the Death Scythe in it, I'll give it a shot, right? Because I love the Death Scythe. Y'all know I love a Death Scythe. I love building a Death Scythe. I like seeing a Death Scythe. I got an emote that's me as a Death Scythe. I like that shit. So if they put the Death Scythe in there, then I'll fucking probably play it. I'll probably play it. But right now, I'm like, I got a bunch of games. There you go. Yeah, I mean, I got a bunch of games that I'm liking. We'll probably talk about that in a bit. I do want to just go back to that one last Twitch thing, because I want to stop talking about Twitch as a company for a fucking minute. But I do need to say, so this gambling shit, they came out with their response to gambling really fucking fast, huh? Like the day, like conveniently very fast. Like, I'm not a conspiracy person, but it does feel like it either feels like, oh, some big streamers were talking about not streaming because Twitch needs to handle this big fucking thing about gambling and the problems with gambling. These apparent terrible issues with gambling that are happening on streams. So Twitch needs to do something about that, or we'll boycott. Yes, some of us that are talking about boycott are the same people that said that boycotts don't work and that hate raids aren't that bad. Get over it. It's just bots. No, that's the other thing Lord Crashers did. That's the other bad. We'll get to that because that's the actual thing. So at first I thought, okay, Twitch is like, hey, in October we're gonna ban sites outside the country that do gambling. We're not gonna ban poker, and we're not gonna ban fantasy football stuff because the United States decided that was cool. Yes, Jimmy, this comes in. These streamers were responding to the streamer that was borrowing money, and then a bunch of people were raising money for him so he could pay his debts off because he got addicted to gambling, but is a streamer that people like. And so the streamers were like, this is a problem with Twitch. I have no evidence to suggest it actually is a problem with Twitch, but those streamers recognized that if people who are watching streams are spending their money bailing out streamers, they aren't spending their money on the other streamers. And I was like, oh, okay, this is why Twitch is like reacting to this because of the money thing, and they're like, let's just do this nice thing, and it will take off the pressure of the other stuff. No, I think Twitch immediately jumped on this. I don't believe that they asked these streamers to make a big fuss so that they could then respond to those streamers. I don't believe that. I do believe that they responded to those streamers immediately because there was an article on Bloomberg about how people are using Twitch in order to stalk or try to harass or elicit young people. There's creeps on Twitch targeting the youth. And also Matt Gaetz is coming. Representative Matt Gaetz is coming to spread his message on Twitch because he read that Bloomberg article and was like, hell yeah, that's where I need to be. I do believe fully in my heart of hearts that Twitch was like, oh no, a PR nightmare. Better put out, we've got 2 PR nightmares coming. One of our own creation, one of the other. Let's go after gambling from sites that are in other countries, not sports betting that is available in the United States. We will not ban that because fantasy football is stuff that people really like. Yes, and also, yeah, if you have a gambling problem, now, also gacha shit. Like, we do need to have a reckoning about gacha. At some point, gacha games and streamers that spend a lot of money on gacha and need to have a lot of subscribers to spend a lot of money on gacha, people that support video game whales are akin to people that watch mukbang videos. You're watching human suffering for your own enjoyment. Like, there's an element of it that people that like rich young people spending a lot of nonsense money, I understand that like, I'm living vicariously through someone. But the gacha thing, the watching whales be whales, the watching mukbang content, that kind of thing is enjoying people suffering for your enjoyment. And I don't like that at all, obviously. We do need to have a larger conversation about gambling, but I don't think that gambling streams are a big enough problem to warrant Twitch's immediate and swift promises of response, which felt very hollow because, you know, we have to have outside tools to block bot accounts. These aren't the tools I use to constantly find and ban bots, to have tools to identify bots and mute them and block them during a stream. All those tools are created by individuals. Commander Root and Sari codes are protecting you and me from bots, not Twitch, and that sucks. So I think that's very funny, Jimmy. The nerd in me has to say it's gachapon. We call it gotcha because gachapon is a long word. But yes, they do gotcha. They do indeed gotcha. Um, you're not wrong with you're not wrong at all. But yeah, it is incredibly fucking frustrating that, like, again, the people that were making a big stink about this gotcha shit or the gambling shit are the same people that said that hate raids weren't a big deal and weren't really anything to worry about, and that boycotts don't work. And then we're like, we're thinking of boycotting because people are spending money on streamers, and we aren't those streamers, really, because that's all it was. That's all that this thing was. It's not like there's a gambling issue on Twitch, really. It's that there are some streamers that are collecting more money than other streamers, and hey, collective bargaining is actually pretty fucking cool, streamers. You should look into it. I know that the thing is, it is an incestuous thing of, like, the top streamers recognize that they aren't competing with themselves, they're competing with the next big streamer. Like, once you've reached a certain threshold, you're not really competing with other people. Like, the top streamer that just does, like, dis or that's and hot or nots and haunted and bad Zillow listings is not competing with the other person that does that. They're competing with the a while ago, the best Among Us player, or the person that was really building on that, or not Among Us, but like Fall Guys. Fall Guys is a better way to say that, because Among Us needs a lot of people. Fall Guys streamers, like, they're competing with the next breakout streamer. His first Twitch thing, which is the El Maga in the yeah. I mean, there are exceptions to the rule when it comes to big streamers, because there are a few out there that are just, like, doing good shit and are enjoyable, but, like, it felt very hollow and shitty when they were like, gambling, and we were like, I thought you said boycotts were bullshit. I guess once it affects your bottom line, it's not bullshit anymore. Weird how that goes. All right, we have now closed the door on Twitch. We'll talk about video games in a bit, but right now, look, there's no good way to transition about this. I'm talking a lot of shit about Twitch, but now's my pause for the cause, in which I talk about the various ways you can support what I do here so that I can keep building model kits and hanging out with you, and talking about a lot of stuff. And one of those ways to support me is through Twitch. And look, capitalism. It's a fucking thing. It's a nightmare. We're under a capitalist system. I got to get mine too. But one way is to be a subscriber, in which I receive 50% of the money that you give me. You can save money because it's September, so I still get the 50% as if you gave me $5. I'm not getting any less. Twitch is getting less because they made a deal with whoever, and so they get a certain amount of money from that, and then they make up the rest themselves. But whatever. You can throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the tier 2 blue emote if you were a subscriber. Let the people know. You get cool emotes. You don't see ads during the stream, which is nice, because I can't watch John Hamm poorly flirt with Flo from Progressive anymore. I am tired of seeing that ad on Twitch all the fucking time. But if you don't want to see those ads, you could just pay me money or use your Prime Gaming token. You have Amazon Prime linked with your Twitch. You can use that. You got to manually do it. Thank you for everybody subscribing. Again, you can save some money with September. You can buy some subs in advance or just help me out right now. Those are the easiest ways to support what I do here. There are other ways. If you were like, Pat, what if I gave you money, but it wasn't through Twitch? Is there a way to do that? Yes, you could become a patron. And then for as little as $1 or as many as $10, you could join the different tiers I have on my Patreon. I have a $1, $3, $5, and $10 tier. Also, should point out, If you want to give me $8 a month and you only want like a few messages a month in the $1 tier, you could still give me $8. You could give more. You could. So, there was a time where someone was giving me $20 a month at the $10 tier, and I don't know why they were giving me $20 a month, but it was fucking cool. But check it out. There's different rewards for the different tiers. Take a look at the Patreon. That is an alternative way to support me. And also, hey, do you want to give Google money? Because you could. You could give me and Google some money. You could join up on my YouTube because there's memberships there. And how that works is for $2 a month, you get my Wednesday videos on Tuesday. So you get it a day early. So, and that's the small little thing there that goes in with the AdSense money, which I do get some money for people watching ads on YouTube. And I also have direct donations because those are all monthly ways. If you just like once in a while want to like throw me a couple bones, you could do that through my Coffee or through PayPal or through Stream Elements. And everything I make through Stream Elements, Coffee, PayPal, your direct ways, through YouTube, which also includes AdSense, so watching my videos and seeing ads, Patreon and Twitch, everything, all those methods goes to a fund, and I buy model kits with that. I would not be building the Vayeate, and which was part of the 2-pack with Mercurius, without your generous support, because I had the funds when that became available to go and do that. Because I went and looked, and I did the math, and I was like, I have the money for that. Thanks to your generosity. I do have the next kit I'm building is from my Amazon wish list, and an anonymous person purchased something from my Amazon wish list. So that's jumping the queue and will be the next thing that I build. If you also want to decide what I build next, and instead of the backlog, which I recently organized from when I received it, when I purchased it, because I have my notes, I recently organized that to see how long it's been. There are kits in there that I purchased in 2021. You could go buy something from my Amazon wish list, and then I can't build from my backlog because I got to build the thing you bought. I've got Lego sets, inexpensive little model kits, more expensive kits, kits that have free shipping, kits that have Amazon free shipping and Prime shipping, various things. There's some gear. I just put a new thing into gear at the bottom. I put a cutting mat, a 12 by 18 cutting mat, because right now I just build on this table. And the cutting mat would probably be good. One, to have more of like a fun backdrop. And two, when I have to like use my X-Acto blade to like cut like things like, let's say, water slides or dry transfers, and I have to cut them out, it would be nice to have something instead of just cutting right over the table. So yeah, I put a cutting mat on there. I don't know. I've never used a cutting mat for model kit building. It'd probably be kind of nice. It'd also probably be nice for Lego, too. I don't know. I'm thinking about it. I put it up there because I would love to try it out. And there's other gear there. And again, if you buy a model kit, I shoot a video for my YouTube, and then it jumps the queue because that's the least I can do. Alternative to that, I have a Throne wish list. You can check out my Throne wish list. I have not updated that in a while. I got to go through, see if there's anything that's not for sale anymore that's on my list. Add some new stuff because I haven't checked in a while. But that's an alternative. It's a much... probably a better service than Amazon in that it really goes out of their way to protect their clientele, which is nice because there are people who make adult content that use Throne, and they don't want you to know what state they live in, which I appreciate that Throne is like, we got you. And then the other alternative, in case you don't want to do wish list, but you are like, I would like to give you money that you have to spend on model kits or equipment, you go to USA Gundam store, buy a gift card, and then send me a DM on Twitter with that gift card code, and I will use that gift card code to buy something from USA Gundam store. Be it a model kit or, I don't know, maybe like new snippers or something. I don't know. If you want to support me for fucking free, I got a Discord. You can jump in there. We are going to get back to building. Don't you fucking worry. This is almost over. I got a Discord. Join my Discord. It's full of nice people. I post build photos. We just had some photos come in not too long ago from other people building stuff, which rules. Thank you for that. I'd love to see that. A couple video links for you to check out. Pat Baer's Anime Club. Now, did I record a new episode of Pat Baer's Anime Club on Tuesday? Yes. Is that archived on my YouTube yet? No. That comes out on Monday. But I recorded it on Tuesday. It was almost 3 hours. It was too fucking long, but it was great. So the most recent Pat Bear's Anime Club that is available on YouTube is me talking about anime music videos because it's the 40th anniversary of the very first anime music video, which is weird to think about. And I do feel old. You're right. And then Do You Remembaer, a video series where I hastily read a Wikipedia article and then do my best to remember everything from that article. I talked about the song September from Earth, Wind, and Fire because it came out, the episode came out yesterday, which was the 21st of September, which is in the song. And also the opening lyric, Do You Remember, is referenced that the title of the series is Do You Remembaer, like the song Do You Remember, the 21st night of September. Wah do ya. And so I talked about that. I talked about like why is that a lyric and the lessons people learned from there. The remix that came out, who's the name of the artist, I could not remember, and it was really annoying me. I believe it's Fats and Small, the duo that put that out. I may have forgotten it again, but I talked about all of the various things I could remember from reading the Wikipedia article about the song September by Earth, Wind, and Fire. So check that out. All right, so I have to drink some water because my voice is starting to get strained. Then we're going to talk about some anime, and then we'll end by talking about more video games. We already talked about one video game. I got more video games to talk about. So let me get the anime thing loaded here, and then I am going to drink some water, and we'll dramatically transition back to the overhead. Here we go. Ah, how nice. A little water. That was good. All right. Let me quickly just check the tweets here. See if that's going here. Okay, great. Somebody liked my tweet from 4 hours ago, which is a fucking thing. People sometimes just like old tweets. Like, hey, in 4 hours, I'm going to be streaming. Why don't you like the tweet that I said, hey, I'm streaming? Whatever. We got two shows to talk about here. Doomsday with My Dog, which is an ongoing shorts series on High Dive, which I have been enjoying quite a bit. And then we will also talk about, all right, we need C3, C3, and then C2 is that part. Okay, all right, great. So yeah, we'll talk about Doomsday with My Dog. And then we'll talk about the OVAs for I'm Quitting Heroing, which is called Remember, the work trip is first and foremost a learning opportunity. We'll talk about that second. Right now, we'll just really quickly get into Doomsday with My Dog. If you have not been listening to me talk about this series, because I've been fucking talking about it. I watched episodes 23 and 24. This is a short about a girl, the last human on Earth, and her dog, Shiba Inu. They can communicate for some reason that is unexplained. There was an apocalypse. Something happened. I'm wondering if, because there are aliens in this world, and episode 23 has aliens there. And so I'm wondering, hey, what's going on with this? Is it because aliens caused this apocalypse, or did aliens show up because all of the humans except for one are gone? And so they're just like, hey, free planet. I don't know the answer to that. And I don't know if I'll ever know the answer to that, which is kind of fucking fine that I don't know the answer. Anyway, an alien showed up and wanted to barter to get Haru, which does not work out. And then there's another alien that is a farmer, and that alien has a pickup truck. And there's a whole reference to time travel and 88 miles per hour. It is a Back to the Future reference. And they're like, can this pickup truck even get to 88 miles? And the guy's like, sometimes. And you're like, ha, that was a fun reference. But turns out, folks, guess what? Time travel is possible in that world. Of course, why wouldn't it be? But it is, because the master, Haru's master from the future, travels back in time to talk to Haru while the master is asleep. And basically they're like, oh, did you come to visit me because I'm dead in 10 years? And she's like, no. you didn't want to travel back in time because you thought you would, I don't know, something about you meeting yourself and breaking time. So I just left without you, which is very funny. And then there's a whole thing about the dogs. There are other dogs in this world, and most dogs seem to really like Haru. They seem to be really into Haru. And so there's a whole thing about how, like, Haru's reality is kind of like he's in a dating sim, because there's, like, tsundere dogs and, like the younger sister type dogs, and just, like, all, and yeah, a bunch of different, like, I mean, yeah, I guess it's okay that you have a lot of female friends, and you're just like, oh, you're mad about that, huh, dog? Okay. And then there is the appearance of a dog he knew in childhood, who is just like, oh, that's just like, brother and sister relationship with this dog. But no, that dog apparently does not like the human in the series. And that's where we left off. Again, I don't know how many more episodes of this there are, but they keep putting them out, and I keep watching them because it's pretty funny, and I think the presentation is good of the series. I think, like, it's graphic, motion graphic style with the text, like, coming in like word balloons is pretty fun. And we're definitely not going to get a dub of it, so might as well enjoy it. Let's see. I'm quitting heroing. Remember, the work trip is first and foremost a learning opportunity. So when the Blu-rays of I'm Quitting Heroing came out, way back at the beginning of this anime season, these two OVAs got added to the Blu-ray. For fans of the series to come in and see the shit. Which is neat. I think that's very cool. Now, I didn't watch those when it first came out because it was a new anime season. Why am I going to watch the OAVs for a show that I liked but I didn't love? So I didn't get around to it. Well, as you may have guessed by me talking about it right now, I got around to it. This is a two-part. I watched them back to back, and basically, it's an OAV, so I did not expect much, and I did not get much. It was pretty bare bones of a story. It is a work trip. It's basically like a month after the end of the first season, where officially Leo is hired to be the right-hand person of the queen, Echidna. And Echidna's like, okay, we got to lay low for a while before we start enacting our plans to do something and get the device we need to get from the kingdom. We got to lay low for a little while. So we're going to go to this inn and hang out there, and it'll have like a work retreat. And they got to, like, it's one of those things where they're like, oh, actually, there might be fucking ghosts here. So it's pretty typical of, like, oh, they're going to be in an onsen at some point, but, like, we got to do the scared coworkers bit. So it's a lot of, like, things of Earth and that nature of, like, okay, well, we got to wear these headbands that will protect us, and, like, people go missing, and then Echidna comes back, but then she's possessed, and everyone keeps disappearing, and then magic doesn't work, and it's like, what the fuck is happening right now? And in the first episode, like, a bunch of people end, and they're like, oh, wait, ghosts might be real. Shit. And then people keep disappearing, and then it's like, actually, hey, the entire thing was a prank staged by Echidna as some sort of, like, work thing to, like, make them all, like, better team players, which is not a good excuse, but it doesn't need a good excuse because it's an OVA, and who cares? It was a haunted prank thing. And then the hot spring, there's fireworks, and they're at a beach. And Leo is like, actually, it's kind of fun to go and visit new places. I didn't really do that much. It's kind of nice to, like, hang out with friends. Like, okay, so he did learn something. So he's like, yeah, instead of just going to battlefields, it's kind of nice to, like, go on. He basically, this ends with him being like, you know what? Vacations are pretty fucking cool. It's like, yeah, dude. And work retreats aren't great, but like if you like your coworkers, it's not the worst. That was basically these OVAs. So, what I say, are they must watches? No. Are they like entertaining? If you liked I'm Quitting Heroing, and you watched that series and you wanted more from it, then you should watch it because I think like it is enjoyable if you like the series. Like I'm happy I watched them. I wouldn't say it's certainly not a good place to start. You shouldn't watch them instead of watching I'm Quitting Heroing. Like you should start with that. Obviously, not obviously. I would say start with that. But I think it was a good time. I'm glad I watched them, and that is my review. That's shit. I thought I was gonna watch that series about the demon that ends up becoming like a shit, like a just like a random roommate of three girls. But I thought that series was like short episodes, and turns out it is not. That is a full length, like 22-minute episodes thing. And I was like, oh, actually, I don't want to watch that. So I didn't. I still might. I still might check it out. As far as anime goes, this Saturday I will be finishing up Teppen, Laughing Till You Cry, and Black Summoner. And I was thinking of starting I'm the Villainous, so I'm Taming the Final Boss, which debuts on Saturday. It starts the new season off. But instead, I'm gonna wait and talk about it on Monday because I only have one anime to talk about on Monday. So I'm just gonna wait and just do that. But then we'll talk about the next one the following Saturday because we're getting into the anime season. It's happening. Annie Chart is telling me that by next airing episode, yeah, I'm the Villainous starts on Saturday. That really kicks off the season. And then a couple days later is Reincarnated as a Sword. That's coming in. That manga's fine, so I am interested in watching that. My Master has no tail. I don't think I'm going to be watching because it didn't look super interesting. I also don't know. Oh, High Dive got it. Okay. And then My Hero Academia is starting up, and Usaki-chan Wants to Hang Out is like a week and a day from now, so that's coming. So there's stuff coming. That's on High Dive. That's crud. Usaki-chan Wants to Hang Out. It's Crunchyroll. So like yeah, there's stuff coming out that I do want to watch. So. If you were wondering, oh, Pat, are you going to be watching more anime? The answer is yeah. I mean, yes, I am. Don't worry. I'm going to watch more anime. We'll say. We had a bit of a drop-off in viewers tonight. A weird bit of a drop-off, which is a shame. Because we're now in the part of the stream where I ask you... what are you playing and what are you watching and what are you into? So it feels weird that we're at the part of the stream where I ask people to interactively talk to me about what they're watching and into. And it's a strange time for me to be like, actually, hey, we're, not a lot of you here right now, but like, let me know what's up. Video game wise, I can tell you what I'm playing while I give you time to write in chat. I am playing Return to Monkey Island. I'm not going to stream that game. That's just a me game. It's important to have that because, both Lord Crashington and also Aristophan have been playing it as well. And yeah, friends, I want to play this for me. I'm not going to be playing on stream. And I won't talk too much about it. Except that I'm really fucking enjoying it. It is a pleasure to play. I somewhat remember the first two Monkey Island games. I remember the first Monkey Island game turns out pretty fucking well. And I don't remember all about the second Monkey Island game. But I'm starting to remember it. And there's some information at the beginning. And it's been very fun to play on my personal computer. I think the art style is cool. I do not have a problem with that fucking art style. I know some people did, but I don't. Year and Void. Yes. if you're playing it, don't watch streams of it, I would say, because you will get spoiled about shit. And nobody likes that. Nobody likes getting spoiled on that stuff if you're playing along, because it's puzzle solving. Arctic Sloth just bought a potion permit, like the Steam Next Fest demos. Oh, you like this? Are ready to dive in? Also eyeing up some like a dragon replays. Ooh, okay. Yeah, I got like I've got a replay of Yakuza 0 that I'm like halfway through the game that I pick at now and again, because it's just fun to kind of jump into that world on occasion. But yeah, I'm really liking Return to Monkey Island. It feels like home. It's fun to play. I've been super into it. All right, I need A17 here, which is these two here. All right, good. What else have I been playing? Yeah, I'm not playing Overwatch, Gundam Overwatch, or Gundam Evolution. Not playing that. So look, I know the meme game for me to be playing is Trombone Champ. I know that if I wanted to be up on the memes, I would have been I would have already streamed that game. I have not streamed it, and I probably will at some point, but right now I haven't, because it's $15, and I understand that it's more than just a meme. I understand that there's some weirdness to it and some depth to it, and that it was made competently. And I appreciate that it's made competently. That rules. I'm glad. But it does feel like a weird thing that its popularity feels weird. And I don't know if being bad on the trombone, which I would certainly be, is worth $15. So I don't know if it does not feel like right to me. That's just my general gut on it. I could be wrong, and I would be happy to be wrong. And I know some people really fucking enjoy it and are having a great time playing it. And I'm psyched for those people. But yeah, just looking at it, I was like, I don't know. I just bought Return to Monkey Island. I don't know. It seems like kind of a joke thing. And I don't know if I want to be bad at Trombone, the video game. I appreciate that it exists. I think it's neat that it exists, but I don't know. That's just kind of my feeling on it. That's just kind of where I'm at. Let's see. You're getting back into Final Fantasy XIV slowly, but that's about it. Okay, that's fun, Ghost Val. I'm surprised at how Return to Monkey Island turned the end of Monkey Island 2 into a Princess Bride thing. Yeah, I mean, like, there are some choices that are made that are interesting, that I was like, oh, that's how we're doing this. Okay. But I'm still enjoying it. I still think it's neat. Hearthstone. Right now, there is a mini set coming out by the end of this month. It'll be out soon. So folks that have felt a little bored with Hearthstone, if you are one of those people, because I know some people have been bored with this last major expansion, maybe the mini set will do it for you. That's coming out. I have enough gold for that, so I will not have to pay money or runes, which you'd have to pay money into getting runes. But I will not have to do that, and I can just purchase it with the money that I have, which is great, or the gold that I have, which is great, and pretty much exactly how I want to do things like that. I want to have the gold ready and just use that gold. Did I? No? Okay. This goes like this. I pulled the wrong piece. This is not piece 13. Where's A13? A13 is here. This is the wrong piece. That's for over there. I was like, this does not match up and look right because I did it wrong. But saving up gold as well. Hell yeah, Wrist fan. Also, looks like Hearthstone is no longer doing rewards for Amazon Prime. They were doing like monthly rewards because I checked the Prime and it's not part of the listing there anymore. So, I mean, if you're still playing Pokemon Go, make sure you get your monthly. But if you are playing Hearthstone, it looks like no more cool like packs or a old legendary, which is a shame. Lord Crashton says, I saw Ben Pack just tweeted about Gundam Evolution being a better Overwatch with the sequel being out soon. I wouldn't know because I haven't played it, but I will say that being a better Overwatch does not appeal to me, the person that is feeling done with playing Overwatch. You know what I mean? Like it's neat, but that's not like I don't think I want any Overwatch, not even a better Overwatch. But I'm happy that people are enjoying it. I mean, look, here's the thing. If people like it and are like, I like these Gundams, what series is this Gundam from? And like, if people are picking up the Barbatos and then are like, I'll check out Hard Blooded Orphans. Okay, that's on Crunchyroll. It's on Gundam Info. Okay, I'll watch that. The dub is on, Netflix or whatever. Like, that sounds rad. I hope that people do check it out because I like Gundam series and I want people to check out Gundam series. But I don't know. It didn't hit me. But yeah, I'm still playing Hearthstone every day. You know me. You know how I do. The group that I played Halo Infinite with has pretty much dissolved, and we have moved on to other things. And I was kind of hoping that maybe we could get back into it, and that we could we could come back to it at some point. But several of them are they pre-ordered and got early access into Call of Duty, and they're Call of Dutying. Hey, we just got a raid from Puppet Jared with 21 people. Welcome, Raiders. Hello. Happy to have you here on the old Bill with Baer. I hope you had fun with Jared. Shout outs to Jake Young for no particular reason. Shout outs. But welcome, everybody, to the old Bill with Baer workshop. I'm Pat Baer. I build model kits and Lego sets, and we talk about anime and video games and wrestling. We're kind of talking about what we're playing right now, so if you have anything that you've been playing that you want to let me know about. If you're like, Pat, you build model kits and Gundams, you must be loving Gundam Evolution. We've been talking about how I'm kind of done with Overwatch and Overwatch likes, so I haven't been playing it. But I know people that are enjoying it, and I think that's fucking great for them. I literally wrote a tweet and bookmarked it so that when people are like, hey, Pat, what do you think of the game? I can just send them a tweet that says, I'm not playing it. Does it save time? No. But I understand. I get it. I also understand why someone asked me the other day, can you explain Muv-Luv Alternative? Because Season 2 is coming out, and I know that you like mech series. So you must be watching Muv-Luv Alternative. You must be excited for Muv-Luv Alternative Season 2. Don't make Pat tap the sign. Yes, Arctic Sloth. Oh, God, I have to do that, huh? I have to edit that meme. I have to edit that meme so it says don't make tap the sign. And then it just says, I don't want to play that video game, but I hope you're having fun with it. Oh, God. I might have to make that meme. Damn it. But yeah, folks may remember me trying to explain Muv-Luv Alternative. You do like that RTMI pops out the full screen into a window when clicking away from the game. Oh yes, return to Monkey Island. That is cool. I mean, I would like if it was just stayed full screen in the one tab. I think that's better, but take what you can get. Yes, well, very much, Lord Crashington. PC games need to stop freaking out when you have more than one monitor. That is very true. I would love it if they would stop freaking the fuck out every time you clicked on something away from something. It would be great. Oh, nice. I've been playing Return to Monkey Island in my own time. I talked about this before here. Just because, it's a game that hits me in nostalgia, and I kind of just want to play it when I play it and not, worry about having to be on while I do it. Um, this is the thing here, right? I stream all my hobbies. I fucked up really bad, everybody, right? Like, all the respect in the world to Puppet Jared, who watches old cartoons. Sometimes Jared streams are him doing research for Jake's podcast, and that's great that research can happen. And a lot of times it's just watching old cartoons, and obviously other streams happen, right? But that is a primary one, right? And I think that's very cool. I fucked up because I play video games on stream and I built model kits and Lego sets, and sometimes I watch old wrestling matches, like Japanese wrestling, and that's all the things that I love. I do all the things I love on stream, and so what I have to do is I have to like spend some time playing or doing things like that are only just for me, that don't involve the streams that I do, because that's the only way I can get some enjoyment out of it, is if I'm like, well, there are a couple anime that I don't watch on stream, or I don't watch to talk about on stream, and at the end of the month I'll talk about it. But like, I'm gonna watch Overlord on my own, and like maybe I won't watch it every week, and I'll wait and watch a couple in a row, or I'm not gonna stream Return to Monkey Island. I'm gonna play it at my own pace on my own time, and that's just like how I'm gonna enjoy that particular series. So I have to like trick myself in a way, so that not everything I do in my life becomes content. And if model kit building was fucking a little cheaper than it is right now, I would build models or Lego sets on my own off stream, but it is too expensive of a hobby right now to spend money where I'm not doing this live. So all my model kits get built on stream, and I also build 6 hours a week, which is not a job. It still feels like a hobby. I mean, this streaming is a job, but like because it's only 6 hours a week, it does feel like a hobby still, which is nice. It's nice enough that I build on Mondays and Thursdays and Saturdays, and on Thursday, like today, I was really looking forward to working on this model kit because I hadn't built since Monday, and I was like, oh yeah, hell yeah, and that's nice. And by the time I get to Saturday, I'm not like tired of building, so it works out pretty well. Occasionally on Monday, I'm like, I could do something else, but I still do it. If you could afford it, would you have a kit that you worked on in your own time? Yes, Lord Crashington, I would. I would have a kit. I would like pick out a kit like I could build the there's a Strike Ale, right? I built a lot of Strike Gundam on stream, and that's not gonna like, this is like a weird like only manga version of a model kit that like isn't gonna be like the difference between someone watching or not watching. Either they're gonna watch or they're because they like me, or they're not gonna watch. That's not gonna move the needle. But I did spend like $22 on that kit. I think I got a good deal on it. But it's still, that's $22. And I'm not just going to like build that on my own. It's going to be content. Because I can't not do that. I'm not financially in a position to do that. I can't like just build for fun. I have to build and have fun. But it's a stream thing. It's complicated and annoying, and I don't like it. But yeah, if you make your hobbies into your business, then you get paid to do your hobbies. But once your hobby becomes your job, it doesn't feel as good as a hobby. Model kit building will never feel as good as it did when I was 16 and building model Gundam for the first time, or working on Gunpla for the first time when I was 16. It'll never feel that good and free. Or like when I got my first full-time job in New York, when I had like disposable income and I didn't have any debts because I had been very good, but I could like splurge on food suddenly, and like all of my income wasn't going into rent. Some of my income was going into my savings account. And I started buying model kits again for a brief period. And then I ran out of room. But like when I started buying model kits in like 2003 or 4, that was an incredible feeling. Though those are like the high moments. And then like the first time I streamed, or I worked on the G Gundam, felt fucking great to stream and do that because I hadn't built model kits for a long time. But like the stream feelings are tied into like, oh, people are watching, people are commenting, people are following, people are subscribing. Like it's tied into that stuff. And sometimes it's like I built my first perfect grade ever, or like, oh, I built my first real grade. It looks neat. Or like I'm trying panel lining for the first time, or I'm actually giving it a go to work on stickers, a thing that I said I would never do because I'm terrible at stickers. And I'm like doing water slides for the first time and I didn't fuck it up. Like that stuff happens and it feels really good, but it's not like, it's not the same as just doing it to do it. It's just, you know, or like I have a DDR pad and I use that DDR pad on occasion. I have never streamed Stepmania, and I never will stream Stepmania. Because Stepmania, using the DDR pad for that, is for me. That's my time and my thing. I just decided that that's one of the video games that y'all don't get to see, because you all see so much of the games I play. Like, in the same way that you'll never see just how fucking terrible I am at Hitman. Like, I try to be a stealthy, awesome badass and like snipe or like, you know, just like use a silencer or like poison food. And then like somebody sees me doing a dumb thing because I didn't wait long enough for a cycle to complete. And suddenly somebody from across the map sees me and like everyone's on high alert and people are shooting me. And then it's just guns blazing and running and hiding in a closet. And then like picking up somebody that I had shot, picking up their uniform, and someone seeing me do that. And so I gotta then kill all those people. And then like I almost have a negative score by the time I'm done, but it was really fucking fun. Like nobody sees that shit. That's my time. And if anybody out there is a streamer, if you do the streaming thing, that is a piece of advice I can give you. You can get that piece of advice from your friend Pat. If you're a variety streamer, you know, you play whatever's out, hold a couple back. Give yourself a couple things that are just you, that are just for you. Obviously, like, if it's a single player thing, that's probably better than that. But, like, if you're like, oh, I stream retro games. I only stream retro games. Well, then, yeah, that's cool. Make sure that you have some modern games that you play for yourself. Or you're like, I don't stream Mega Man games. I just play Mega Man games because I like playing a lot of old games. You're like, oh, great. That's fun. Just, you know, give yourself the option to just have, like, a fucking thing for yourself because it will, overall, really help you out. I don't know. I mean, I still, you know, we talked about a lot with Twitch tonight, and I do, you know, think about these things. I do very much enjoy streaming. I would like to continue to stream. And it is an outlet. We talked about how, especially me being isolated where I am right now, where most days I talk to my folks and I talk to a couple people. Maybe I jump in voice chat. We do like a hangout somewhere in a Zoom or something, or on Discord, and we'll be on voice and Discord. But there are days where I don't talk to people that are not my folks. And I went from seeing a lot of people that I knew all the time to that. And it is isolating and can be a little demoralizing mentally. So it is nice to have the opportunity to stream. Because even if people are just typing words in a chat, they're responding. And that's nice. And maybe I build something cool that people are like, ooh, I want to build that. Where'd you get that? Or I'm going to Google it and find out where that is. That's very fun. Or maybe people are just like, I came in for 5 minutes. I came in at 10 p.m. because you talk about anime in the second hour. And now you're done talking about anime. And I got to say my opinion on this one game. And now I'm out of here. It's like, okay, see you later. Peace out. that also is fine. I'm also cool with that. I just want people to have a good time, enjoy themselves. If we can, foster a fun community, that's great. People sometimes only come in for the first hour of the stream because they want to see what model kit I'm building. There's Nathan Explosion out there is a viewer that only is interested in Pat Bear's Anime Club and missed the one on Tuesday. So now they have to wait several months for my next stream where I just talk about only anime for several hours. And it's just like, sorry, my dude, you missed the stream. I moved to this Tuesday and you missed it. I don't know what to tell you. We almost finished this kit tonight, folks. We did this kit. We started from scratch on this kit today, and we have the rest of a leg, the waist, and then we have to build the weapons. And it's a big gun. This kit's got a big gun and a big backpack. So we do have stuff to do. But we're going to finish this on Saturday. And then on Saturday, we'll probably start the Zetas, or the Z-Ass, as I like to call it on occasion, the Zetas, which is like the secret boss mobile suit, where the cockpit for the flight mode is just the chest, and it looks doofy, but also this is a goofy looking ass model kit that also looks very cool, and I don't know how it does both. But this was bought off my Amazon wish list, and that'll be the next thing I build, which is coming in the future. But we got to finish this up, and we will finish this up on Saturday. And that is going to wrap up the stream. Sorry about that. Ooh, I got a little bleed on my light here. Let me twist that. Sorry about that. We are going to raid. We got a beautiful raid from Puppet Jared, which we love. We love to see that. Love to see the cartoon crew come in here. So hopefully they will also join us as we raid somebody else doing something cool out there. Because we got to share the love. We always end with a raid. And let me see who is doing stuff that we want to go hang out with. I guess on Saturday we'll probably talk about Pizza Rat on Saturday. I guess we didn't get to it tonight. Yesterday was the 7th anniversary of Pizza Rat. And that feels weird because it does not feel like 7 years ago. Matt Little and I saw a rat dragging a slice of pizza up subway stairs. It does not feel like that. It feels like way longer, or for way less time than 7 years, but that is the true fucking statement. It feels very weird that I saw that rat and Matt took out his camera because Matt is smarter than me and filmed it. And it's fucking weird. It's weird that was 7 years ago. It's weird that Matt ended up being interviewed by WWE.com about Pizza Rat because the only reason we were out that late is because we had stayed after work to watch a replay of a WWE pay-per-view at work after like the Sunday night shows. And so we got out of there really late because we had watched a wrestling show. And then we got in the subway that late. And if we hadn't stayed late to watch a wrestling show, we would not have seen that rat. And that's the weirdest part. That's not on the Wikipedia page for Pizza Rat, if you were wondering. We don't include that anecdote. Barely include Matt's name. My name's not on there. I'm not in the Pizza Rat Wikipedia page, even though I am referenced in articles. It's rude. They should have had Pizza Rat attendance at the NYC show. Yes, Ethan Page should have kicked the Pizza Rat instead of the. Well, we cannot get into Luigi. Luigi Primo got semi-canceled on his AMA today. There's some shit about that dude, and we're gonna talk about that on Saturday. I'm just writing myself a note that fucking we're talking about it on Saturday. We're gonna go raid. Xandra. Xandra Bot, which is Xandra's daughter, who is a VTuber. Xandra Bot is playing a Super Mario World Kaizo run. And so we're going to go raid Xandra, because that rules. So we're going to go meet Xandra Bot, the robot, which is very fun. And I hope you'll come along this raid. It's going to be a good time. And I'll see you on Saturday. If you aren't already following me, hit the follow button so you know when my next stream is. But I'll be continuing this kit and finishing this kit on Saturday. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.